Now we are in lesson 3 and 4. So in this lesson 3 and 4, we are going to discuss about factorization and substitution. So in this lesson 4, there are two concepts. These two concepts, it's about factorization and substitution. So we are going to discuss about factorization, then later on we discuss about substitution. So hint, when factorizing, the largest possible factor is removed from each of the terms and placed outside the brackets. So that's how to do the factorization. So in the factorization, you are the one who is going to introduce the brackets by factor out the largest possible factor. So in this case, he used the largest possible factor. For instance, now let's look at some examples now. 10x plus 15. 10x plus 15, what is the largest factor for these two terms, 10x and 15? The largest factor is 5. So now 5, let's factor out. 5 into 10x gives us 2x. 5 into 15 gives us positive 3. So now this is the we have finished the factorization by taking out the largest factor. So let's move on to example B. 8p minus 6q plus 10r. What is the largest factor there for 8, 6 and 10? So the largest factor is 2. But for letters now, do we have common letters in both? No, that's why we have only 2 as our largest possible factor. So now let's now find out. How do we now divide? 2 into 8p gives us 4p, 2 into 6p gives us minus 3p, 2 into positive 10r gives us positive 5r, then you close your brackets. Let's look at example C. 6ax minus 12ay minus 8a to the power 2, which is equals to 6, the common factor there now. The common factor in terms of numbers, first, what is the highest possible? It's 6, because we have 6, 12 and 18. So in terms of numbers, 6 is our highest possible. What about in terms of letters? We have A. So A is another largest possible factor in terms of letters. So if you combine these two, your largest common possible factor will be 6a. Now let's now divide 6a into 6ax, the remainder is x. 6a into minus 12ay, your answer is minus 2y. Then 6a into minus 18a to the power 2, your answer is minus 3a. Now the last example, D. Minus 2p minus 6p plus 12. Now what is now your largest common factor? The largest in terms of numbers is 2. In terms of letters, there are no, because here we have got q, here we have got p, here we have nothing. So it means we don't have largest possible factor for letters. So now for numbers it's 2. Now we divide. 2 into minus 2q gives us minus q. 2 into minus 6p gives us minus 3p. 2 into positive 12 gives us positive 6. So this is how we remove brackets. Or in other words, this is how we factorization. So factorization is you are taking out the largest possible factor. Taking out the largest possible factor. And here you ought to be very careful, because what happens is an expression is given. You know, an expression is whereby it has numbers and letters, numbers and letters, numbers and letters. So you need to factor out in terms of numbers as well as in terms of letters. So it gives you the possible factor. So that is how we now do what we call factorization. Now let's look at how do we do the substitution. Substitution is what we are talking about is we want to substitute. To substitute, you are removing either a letter or whatever and replace with another. That is what we call about substituting. So in an expression, you are given letters. You are given letters with numbers. So, and you are given the value for those letters. If you are given the values, for instance, here they say if A is equals to 3, B is equals to 4, and C is equals to -5. So these are the values for the letters. So in any expression, it means now for you to substitute, you are removing those values and substitute with the value for the letters. You are removing all those letters and substitute with the what? With the value of those letters. For instance, here, example number 1, 2A plus 3B minus C. What is the value of A? The value of A is 3. So I'm now removing A and substitute with 3. What is the 3 plus 3B? What is the value of B? B is 4. I'm now removing B and substitute with what? 4. And C, you can see -5. So in this, you ought to be very careful. This negative is for the expression, for that expression. And the value for C is -5. Right. Now, after doing that, you now remove these brackets now. Removing brackets, you are multiplying them. So it's 2 times 3, 6. 3 times 4, 12, minus this one. Minus and minus gives us a positive. So it means +5. So if you now add this, you get 18 plus 5, which gives you 23. Now, let's look at the second example. Second example is 3A minus 4B plus 2C. Now, let's remove the brackets. A, 3A minus this. So value of A is 3, we substitute. The value of B, we substitute. The value of C, we substitute. So when you are substituting, we encourage you to introduce brackets. Just remove that letter and substitute with the value and introduce brackets. Then after that, remove the brackets. 9 minus 16 minus positive and negative gives us a negative. So it will be 16 minus 10. So 9 minus 16 minus 10 gives us -7 minus 10, which is equals to -17. The trick in this concept, when you are removing, please do not remove just by multiplying. For instance, here you say 2 times 3, then you quickly get 6. Sometimes you can make errors. Sometimes you can make mistakes, different calculations, which will end up giving you a different or a wrong answer. So I encourage you to introduce these brackets. They are very important. For you, you can easily revise, check whether you have made mistake in substituting, or check whether your answer is correct. But if you just multiply without introducing brackets, if you make a mistake, it will be difficult for you now to check whether your answer is correct or not. So let's develop a tendency or a habit of introducing brackets whenever you are substituting. Then these brackets, they are removed. These brackets, they are removed by multiplying. So please be careful when you are introducing these brackets, especially when you are removing. Sometimes you'll be removing by multiplying by a negative. For instance, for this one, -5 and this one. So here we are removing by multiplying by this negative. So negative and negative, this one gives us a what? Positive. So removing brackets by an operation, you must understand it and practice it. Thank you very much.